kind of my motto.
Undersell, overperform. I understand. However, we are talking wrestling, the world of wrestling, the squared circle. We have a lot to get into. We had a moment that will stand the test of time with AEW and Chris Jericho and MJF. We have Hell in a Cell. You have Hell on your radio station right now. It's going to be a beautiful show. We also have a couple special guests as well. Dan, where do we start? Where do we begin?
I don't know. I'm glad to have you back, Brandon. We had a big show last week. Not the big show like Paul White, the big show.
Right.
But on last week's show, we had two great WWE superstars. We had Braun Strowman. We also had WWE champion Drew McIntyre. And if you missed that show, you got to go get our podcast. Go to Twitter at DFTC Podcast. Check out that show. And by the way, and this is a true story because Pledger was there. In the first 3 minutes of the podcast, you can actually hear me literally, no joke, almost cry on the radio. I literally ran out of the studio. And not only did I run out of the studio, Brandon, when I came back, I was so frustrated that I said something on the air that I think may get us banned from ever having a WWE superstar on our show again. You got to go to our podcast, Down for the Count, at DFTC Podcast on Twitter. Listen to it.
Okay, well,
you don't want to miss it.
We're not banned just yet, obviously.
Not yet.
Not yet. However, we've had some shortcomings, as me and you have dealt with in personal lives, Dan. However, this show is all about humor. Sometimes we cross the boundaries a little bit, but sometimes we get it just right, Dan. And I want to introduce somebody who we'd love to come onto the show, have a little three-way with. I'm sorry.
Hey, now.
Come on now. However, a little triple threat action here. We got our man Nick Trey is in the building. What is going on, my brother? Welcome to Down for the Count once again.
Dude's got to unmute himself. He just wants to stare at us because we're so damn sexy.
I think that's what it is, honestly. You know,
that's
what I mean?
Right. If you want to stare at Nick Trey, go to the ESPN San Antonio Facebook page and stare at Nick Trey staring at us, but apparently not talking. And stare at Nick Trey staring at us.
Alrighty. However, we have a lot to
some headphones.
Yeah, we have a lot to get into now, Dan. We have the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. This is one of the most exciting times of the year, truly, for me at least. I mean, you look at Hell in a Cell, and then right after that, we're probably going to get Survivor Series. Is the build-up exactly what you're hoping for, or is it falling a little bit short, Dan, when it comes to the matches that we're going to be seeing at Hell in a Cell?
Okay, Brandon, you know me. I'm a WWE fanboy. I love WWE, but I will say this, and I'm not trying to just be critical, okay? But I'm kind of wondering if Hell in a Cell is overplayed. Here's what I mean. Back in the day, I'm going to sound like Grandpa here talking about the old days of wrestling, but back in the day, Hell in a Cell wasn't its own pay-per-view. Back in the day, Hell in a Cell was a special event in terms of a rivalry. It's like, okay, we are fighting so much, we cannot crush what we have, so we need to go into Hell in a Cell. So Hell in a Cell, if you remember, actually, here's a good trivia question, Brandon, Medina, and maybe Nick Trey.
Okay.
Hop in here if your microphone works. What was the first ever WWE Hell in a Cell match?
Was that Michaels Taker?
That's right. Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid versus The Undertaker. And that was not a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. That was actually a special match, a special Hell in a Cell match at a pay-per-view. So I think I got to be careful because I always watch Hell in a Cell. It's fun, but I don't like it when it's gimmicky. I think Hell in a Cell should just be a special match whenever a rivalry just goes, crazy. But okay, but I am going to enjoy it. You and I both were able to go to Hell in a Cell when it was here in San Antonio a couple years ago. That was fun. And everybody remembers Mick Foley getting thrown off this Hell in a Cell. So it's going to be a fun pay-per-view. They painted the cell red for some reason. I guess they want to be the color of blood and hell and everything. It's going to be a fun pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and to your point, Dan, I think, you look at Hell in a Cell in the past, you're absolutely right. There was not a full-fledged pay-per-view. I mean, you look at the most prolific one with Undertaker and Mankind going, off the cell. Of course, we have the perfect JR call of all time. That happened at a King of a Ring. So even that one was at a separate pay-per-view, much like even the TLC matches. You know what I mean? Now we have a TLC pay-per-view, whereas you yourself are at probably the greatest one in the Astro Dome at WrestleMania 17. However, there was other ones at SummerSlam. There were special match types, not match pay-per-views. So I completely get you there. However, we've seen great matches at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I mean, we saw the New Day and the Usos go at it. That was an awesome one. We've seen, the females when they first were coming into wrestling and going outside of the divas and going into actual wrestlers. We saw Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. I think we've seen a lot of great matches come out of this pay-per-view as well, though.
We have, and I'm actually looking forward to this Bayley versus Sasha Banks match. I was hoping that they would kind of extend the rivalry and have it actually, end up and finish off and do the blow-off match at WrestleMania, but maybe they don't want to wait. So this is, I think, either the third or fourth time that Sasha Banks has been in Hell in a Cell. So obviously she has an advantage. And I believe Sasha Banks was also in the very first women's Hell in a Cell match against Charlotte Flair. And that's a good match to go back and look at. So looking forward to Sasha and Bayley. And I don't know, maybe it's Sasha's time to finally take that SmackDown Women's Championship from Bayley. Bayley's had it for almost more than a year actually now. So maybe it's Sasha Banks' time.
It's a forgettable champion. I'll be honest with you. I've been talking about this for a long time.
Wait. So Bayley is forgettable?
Bayley is 100% forgettable champion.
No. If we were in studio together, I would slap you. I would. I mean, like with my glove. With my glove.
Right, of course.
Because Bayley has been the SmackDown Women's Champion for over a year.
Way too long, right?
Mm-hmm. Bayley was named the Pro Wrestling Illustrated's #1 woman this year. Bayley's done a great job. She's got. You stop it. I love Bayley. Okay, I think she's cool. I like it. I think she's done a great job, and I think even it was great that she got rid of that little girl kind of gimmick. You and I, we talked last week on the show. If you do little girl stuff, Chris Hansen shows up. Got to listen to the podcast. So I'm glad that Bayley is kind of an adult now, and I think it's cool.
Right. I mean, this is also coming from somebody. You're also an Iconics fan. They split them up pretty quickly. So that T-shirt right there is very vintage already as it stands.
Absolutely.
However, I want to bring in our buddy Nick Trey to see what his thoughts are on the upcoming Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. What are you thinking, brother? You excited for this at all?
What's going on, guys? Actually, I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going for Sasha. I think she's going to upset Bayley, and I think it's time for her to get that championship herself, to be honest.
But you're not disrespecting Bayley like Brandon here, right? You don't think she's a waste of a champion, whatever you said. How disrespectful. If Bayley is ever on our show, I'm going to call you out. I don't
like her haircut.
Well, that's minor.
It's a minor change. However, I do think you're right. I think she doesn't have the look of a champion. I think her wrestling is not nearly as good as Sasha Banks. I truly believe outside of Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, we'll throw in Bayley there and Becky Lynch. Those are the 4 horsewomen. There's still a lot of competitors that I'd prefer over Bayley. But I think you're right. Sasha Banks, this is her time to shine. But the other matchup that I'm really excited about, because it turned out to be a lot better than I was expecting. I still don't know if I'm buying into this whole Uso Roman Reigns matchup. However, it was a lot more exciting last time. Dan, is this still a match that you're looking forward to watching now that's going in Hell in a Cell?
I think so. As you remember, when the Uso versus Roman Reigns rivalry first started, I thought it was kind of a waste of a match. I thought it was going to be a throwaway pay-per-view match to kind of introduce Roman back after time off. But now I'm actually interested in the story. I like the family aspect of it. I like the idea of Roman Reigns saying, I'm the head of the family, and I'm going to keep you down, because he's ultimately insecure. And hopefully, as you and I have talked about, hopefully this will lead to a match between Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania. Hopefully The Rock will come back and say, no, I am the alpha male of this Samoan family. But I do enjoy this Uso versus Roman Reigns thing, and maybe I don't think there's any chance in hell that Uso wins against Roman Reigns, but I think they're going to beat the crap out of each other, and I'm all about that.
What about you, Nick? Are you excited for this Uso Roman Reigns matchup?
Well, I tell you this, I'm excited that Roman is finally the heel that I think everybody wanted him to be a long time ago. Give us a reason to boo him. We've been booing him for a while. And I think he's going to be a better heel than he was a face, definitely. But I do think for that WrestleMania match with The Rock, I'm kind of anxious to see what happens there between will they lose to him and put him over, or will The Rock, beat him at WrestleMania? We'll just have to wait and see.
Dan, do you think there's a chance in hell, no chance in hell, maybe, like Vince McMahon likes to say. Do you think there's any chance whatsoever that The Rock puts over Roman Reigns on the grandest stage of them all?
Maybe, because The Rock, Dwayne Johnson seems actually like a really good person. So I can see people go, oh, The Rock's going to come in, he's going to kick his ass, because I kind of predicted that a couple minutes ago. But now that I think about it, like, it doesn't help WWE or Roman Reigns to have The Rock win. So if The Rock's only going to be a part-time wrestler, and this is all speculation, if he comes back for WrestleMania, I think The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, will want to help his cousin Roman Reigns by letting Roman beat him, if that match actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge if, right? I mean, obviously we're going to be, hopefully, maybe, possibly in Hollywood for WrestleMania. But chances are it's probably going to be happening there in Florida, because there's no way that we can speculatively believe that all this is just going to be over and fans will be able to go to a venue. However, with that being said, I agree with you. I think The Rock is one of the few people that does what's best for business. When you look at it, I think The Rock definitely makes sense. I also saw that Cena Taker was a possibility for this next WrestleMania, and I don't want to see Undertaker die in real life during a match. So I truly believe this is probably not the best, because he went out pretty much on top this last time. We saw how Goldberg, which we'll bring up a little bit later, Goldberg literally, Dan, if you remember, almost ended The Undertaker's career as well as his own.
Yeah, almost broke his neck.
Yeah, so I think let's keep the legends in the legends category. Let's start pushing up these guys who really deserve it. And I think Roman Reigns is absolutely deserving of the limelight right now. I'm still not a fan of Jey Uso. I'm still not a fan of the Uso brothers. However, I think this is a lot more entertaining than we expected. We also have Jeff Hardy, who's going to be in a match there. Hell in a Cell is going to be coming our way pretty soon. We got it next weekend, so it's definitely something. Or is it this weekend?
Hell in a Cell is this weekend.
It is this weekend. Listen, October's flying by. COVID is flying by.
Show's flying by.
The show's flying by. That's what I'm saying. So with that being said, we got Hell in a Cell this weekend. You got Hell on your radio right now. I hope you guys are enjoying it. ESPN San Antonio is going to keep bringing it back to you. This is Down for the Count. We are talking all things wrestling. Coming up, we got AEW, NXT, as well as a special guest that you do not want to miss. Keep it locked. 94.5 FM, 1250 AM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
For the best selection of pottery with one of the largest displays in the country, visit Just Pots. Just Pots is Aggie family owned, classes of 76, 89, 21, and 23. They sell beautiful Italian terracotta, plus Vietnamese glazed and terracotta pottery in vivid colors, all shapes and sizes at the best prices in our area. Open 7 days a week. Visit Just Pots on Redland Road inside Loop 1604. Online at justpots.com and on Facebook. Just Pots. Gig 'em.
Blake Stevens with San Antonio-based GPS of Texas. If you have commercial vehicles on the road, you're a target for personal injury lawyers. I mean, you're wearing a bullseye. Our system can protect you if there is an accident with proof of speed, video monitoring, even proof that your driver wasn't on his phone. Don't get hammered. Have real proof that you weren't at fault by installing our GPS camera tracking system. Call GPS of Texas at 210-587-7634 or gpsoftexas.com.
Most of us don't think about our brakes until we need to think about our brakes. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. We all like things easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. They come to you. New Brakes will come to your home, office, apartment, or wherever. You don't have to waste time sitting at a brake shop or worry about leaving your car at a shop. New Brakes is a mobile brake shop. Their certified brake techs will come to you to fix your brakes while you continue to do whatever you do. It's convenient and affordable, so if your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, go to newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com and schedule a certified mobile brake tech to come to you. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all the 5-star reviews. Newbrakes.com. Go there, schedule your repair, save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN. Newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com.
We are your home for everything Cowboys all season long.
Prescott and the gun. They look like they're going to blitz. Here comes everybody. Slant in the direction. Cooper caught off the balance. Off the defender. Cooper walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Cooper. Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Dallas Cowboys football on ESPN San Antonio and 102.7 Jack FM. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair, Alamo Water Softeners, Ewald Kubota, The Roo Pub, and The Angry Elephant.
And while we are swinging, to mention a few, we'll drop in a Chili's, hey, Young Bucks, screw you. We'll beat up a Moxley, whatever we do. Life is gonna be, we won't we. On my shadow and me.
That was a wrestling show last night. And this is a wrestling show right now. It's down for the counts. Your ESPN San Antonio wrestling show. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialana here with my tag team partner, Brandon Big Papi Medina. We also got Nick Trey from Energy 94.1 joining us. And back in the gorilla position, James Pledger. And that clip we just played right there, the beautiful show tunes, reminds me of high school when I was
in the
more
20s.
secure
Yeah,
in my manlyhood. No, back in the 90s. The 90s were awesome. Back when I did musicals, back before I was afraid for my masculinity and precarious masculinity, all that patriarchy, all that crap. But that was last night on AEW Dynamite. Chris Jericho and MJF went to a steak dinner and they got in a battle over who can have the most rare steak. It was probably a very phallic moment. But then they all of a sudden broke out into song. Brandon, what did you think of this?
Look, you hear you heard the smile in Dan Cialana's question already, because he knows this is absolutely basura. This is garbage.
What?
This does not belong.
I bet Nick liked it.
I 100% bet Nick, and
it.
I bet Pledger absolutely loved it as well, because this was a Family Guy portion of a show come to life. This is all this was. This is exactly. I feel like the producers of Family Guy hit up AEW, was like, yo, we should do something in real life. And then not only that, Chris Jericho, who's in a legitimate band, sounded worse than MJF, who's a regular wrestler.
They're going to fight a chicken next week. I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going on. However, the show was okay. This part I felt like I was watching something like Black Mirror or something. Like I was watching something way different. But I definitely think it was interesting. It got the internet absolutely buzzing. So it did its job. It got eyeballs. It was entertaining. I just don't understand why. That's all.
I loved it. Did you like it, Nick? I loved it.
I loved it. I didn't understand why either, but I loved it. I think it was great for AEW. It did what it was supposed to do, and that was to get everybody talking about it and kind of putting more eyes and ears on AEW. And I hope to see more of that stuff, to be honest.
Every week. We need to have a new show tune every week. That's what we got to do. And listen, I'll be honest. I didn't look at any zero of the internet reaction to this. So my reaction is not colored by wanting to fit in with internet smarks, wrestling smarks or anything. I enjoyed it. I laughed out loud. Listen, is it any more ridiculous than WWE's Firefly Funhouse? Like my wife and I were talking about it. My wife loved it. She thought it was entertaining. She thinks the Firefly Funhouse is stupid and not entertaining, but this actually took some talent. I thought Chris Jericho and MJF and those dancers, I thought they did a great job. I want to see show tunes and dancing every single week on my AEW television. And James Pledger agrees with me. I know, I can see it in his eyes. James Pledger loves him some show tunes.
I'm all about it, man.
Goodness gracious. Listen, I don't need a full-fledged Hamilton production when I'm trying to watch wrestling. I don't understand. I mean, I get that it was entertaining. I understand that, right? I'm not, I'm not an older guy that's like, oh, where's the good old stuff? I'm just saying the show was going great. We're finally seeing, Kenny Omega again. We're finally seeing the Lucha Brothers again. We're seeing people that we'd like to see. And then this happens, and it just kind of threw me for a loop. It's hard to really just come back from that. But I do think it was entertaining. I do want to say, though, the Firefly Funhouse absolutely is more creative than this, Dan. The fact that you compared the two is outlandish, because the Firefly Funhouse, when we first did this show, and I will happily go pull the receipts, Dan. When we first did the show,
you pull it.
You were like, "Oh my God, the Firefly Funhouse is one of the most creative things we've seen." Now
those are lies.
Those are absolute facts. Sir.
No, slander or libel, whatever it is on the radio. I don't know.
Whatever it is back in college. Anyways.
Okay, no, listen. Okay, I said my wife thought it was stupid. I don't think Firefly Funhouse is stupid.
I heard you call your wife stupid. I heard that. No. What I'm saying is
no.
Oh, that's not what you said. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay, Firefly Funhouse. I do find it entertaining, but it's kind of like it's redundant. And Firefly Funhouse is just sort of like throwing random things out there. It's just sort of like they just get like a random. It's like Mad Libs of WWE creative, and they just grab random things and there's puppets. Whereas this show tune thing they did last night in AEW, this took some talent. It took some rehearsal. It took talent. It was great.
Nick, give us your honest reaction, Nick. Overall, Firefly Funhouse or show tunes with Chris Jericho and MJF?
Oh man, let's see. Well, the whole show tunes deal, like I said, I loved it. I mean, it took the guys to be like precise with everything they did, doing it live, from the moves, the dancing, the coordination. I definitely think more effort went into the whole show tunes thing with MJF and Jericho than what goes into the time put together for the Funhouse. Definitely.
This doesn't even make sense. This doesn't even make sense.
That's two against one. Did James Pledger, did you weigh in on this?
You get me with the 1, 2, 3, 10. I'm in.
Oh my goodness.
You are outnumbered here, sir.
This is awful. I feel like I should just walk away from this set as we speak.
Okay, because Brandon, you are here with three men who are very secure. Like we are secure enough in our masculinity.
Nobody is saying that, Dan. It's
that we can enjoy show tunes and great dancing. And you know, I think next week they got to do it again. They got to bring Sunny Kiss in there, to show some real dancing. They got to turn it up.
Now I'm tuning in. Now we're talking about it, because listen, Sunny Kiss got absolutely ruined by Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega came back. I don't understand how we're supposed to build up new characters when we squash them on AEW. But overall, Dan, the show was good on AEW, as it always has been. It was really, really good.
I did enjoy it. And actually, one thing I always appreciate about AEW, besides show tunes, and when it actually comes to wrestling, AEW is really good at building up their pay-per-view. Because WWE, it's like there's a pay-per-view like every 5 days, which is cool because there's something to watch. But at the same time, the pay-per-views can be kind of forgettable. Versus AEW, like, they build. It's like old school wrestling. They build for the pay-per-view. They make you wait for it. It's like wrestling edging. That's what that is. So I enjoy it. I love it. Google that. Incognito mode.
We are going to get so fired. However, with us,
if we didn't after last week, we're okay this week.
With us being here right now, talking about edging, not Edge the wrestler, by the way. However,
I don't know what he's into.
However, I also think they do a really great job of having tournaments. It's something that AEW really has done well, is making that sports facet of the entertainment really be a focal point, Dan. We see records actually kind of matter on AEW. You're not going to get a title shot if you're like a new person. So that's been cool. We see
at least on the men's side. On the women's side, you can just show up and apparently just challenge Sheeta out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's how that happens. But I think you're right. Also, AEW doesn't have a pay-per-view every month. It's like every other month or every 2 months, whatever.
Yeah, every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and I know, you pirate them, I buy them. However,
I bought the last one.
I do think
you guys didn't buy it.
I do think that AEW has done a great job. You're absolutely correct. But now that we're moving gears into our next segment, when we come back, we're going to be talking NXT. Before we get there, though, Dan, does it hurt a little bit to see NXT using the Halloween Havoc slogan and it's not WCW like you used to love?
Yeah, sometimes I wish they could just leave things well enough alone. But hey, it's a gimmick. It's not, they're not making a pay-per-view out of it. If they just want to have like a fun, one-off show called Halloween Havoc, whatever, that's part of owning the rights. That's part of being a billionaire and having WCW in your hands. You can do whatever you want with the name.
Did you ever watch Halloween Havoc back in the day, Dan?
I didn't actually. I remember hearing about it, like with the spin the wheel, make a deal, and all that stuff. And they had all these weird gimmicky matches. I think they actually had like an electric chair match, be very popular here in Texas. But I never actually watched any of those shows.
What about you, Nick? Did you ever watch those WCW Halloween Havocs back in the day?
Actually, Halloween Havoc was my favorite pay-per-view that WCW put together. And I think it was just the decor, the time of year. WWE or WWF at the time wasn't doing anything. So October was just, it was open for anyone to put something together, and Halloween Havoc was there. I loved it. It was my favorite pay-per-view that WCW used to do.
Yeah, and if you don't remember, Dan, actually one of the most loved WCW matches actually happened at Halloween Havoc, and that's Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, the young Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. That was at Halloween Havoc. I believe that was 99, 98, something like that. I was a very, very young little chiquirini, little necio over there. However, that did happen. I know that for a fact. But with that going on, NXT is bringing it back. We are going to be excited. You have the spin the wheel, make a deal. That's going to be great. Obviously, me and Dan need to incorporate a spin the wheel deal type of something for our next show, because we're going to be going on before Halloween time. So we need to make something happen, Dan, where we can spin our own type of wheel.
I agree. I'll look for a wheel right now. We'll spin something.
Hey, we're spinning something, but one thing we're not spinning is money. So let's go to our breaks, and then we'll be right back. NXT talking NXT. We're having another special guest at the end of the segment. Also, Dan Cialana is going to be breaking us down all of our favorite Hell in the Cell memories. That is happening this weekend. You do not want to miss it. Keep it locked. 94.5 FM, 1250 AM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com/wrestling.
Twin Peaks is open and featuring 29-degree draft beer, a scratch kitchen with delicious eats, and sports from every angle on wall-to-wall TVs. Score sweet deals available all day, like $3.99 party shots and select cocktails for $5. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She used that soothing scent to calm you. And her mom used it to calm her. And her mom, well, you get the idea. Vicks Vapor Rub's always been there. It always made you feel better. And today, it still does. Bring back those childhood memories with the comfort and care only Vicks Vapor Rub can bring. Vicks Vapor Rub, family tradition for a reason.
And now, here's your Culligan Water Cooler talk for the week. A slew of buzzworthy movies debut this week, all on demand. They include director Robert Zemeckis' The Witches, starring Anne Hathaway and Octavia Spencer, from Sofia Coppola, On the Rocks with Rashida Jones and Bill Murray, and the sequel Borat's subsequent movie film, the subtitle much too long to get into here. Drinking water systems, like the Aquasential from Culligan, filters water fresh as you need it without a bulky storage tank. Find out more from your local Culligan dealer or Culligan.com.
Lately, we're doing a lot more at home, which means we're doing a lot less driving. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save 50% with Allstate. You've never been in better hands. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Pricing varies based on how you buy, driving behaviors, and includes a daily rate. Not applicable in California. Based on annual premium paid by Allstate Standard Auto customers versus Allstate pay-per-mile customers who drive an average of 4,000 miles a year. Savings vary subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates. Copyright 2020 Allstate Insurance Company.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back. Welcome back. A special right here, down for the counts. I'm Brandon Big Papi Medina. That is Dangerous Dan Cialana. That is Dangerous Dan Cialana's theme song right there as he walks down to the ring, in case you're not looking at us on Facebook Live. Dan, how are we doing, brother? And I mean, we're so close to Halloween.
Yeah, so close to Halloween. I can't wait to go spend time with lots of people, close distance, sharing food, hugging, kissing, being around everybody. There's no reason that we shouldn't. I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Dan, what are you going to be for Halloween? Are you going to be
neurotic?
Boomer? Oh, okay. Okay. This guy. Anyway, Nick Trey is also in the movie. Nick, what are you planning on being for Halloween? Obviously, you have kids, so you got to have some type of plan.
I do have kids, and actually dressing up my baby boy as a little Ghostbuster. So I've gained about 20 pounds during this quarantine, so I'm probably gonna be Stay Puft Martin.
That's what I'm talking about. Pledger? What are we thinking for you, Pledge? What are we gonna be for Halloween?
Well, I have narrowed it down to a couple of different things.
Okay.
We're either gonna try and be the Green Arrow,
okay,
Robin,
okay,
or Nightwing.
Okay.
And I'm likely going to end up at the Rue Pub responsibly socially distanced Halloween party.
There we go. Okay.
I got it. I finally decided I'm going to be for Halloween. I'm going to be Jeffrey Toobin. Google that. He had a Zoom meeting difficulty.
Goodness. I absolutely think Dan Cialana and I should jump on this Facebook Live next week dressed as the Road Warriors. I'm just putting it out there.
I got to grow out that handlebar goatee again.
I just think Dan Cialana has the mohawk. Sometimes we've seen it. He's perfect for it. He can grow a beard like no other. I think Dan Cialana and I should be the Road Warriors. And if not, I think, we'll flip a coin, Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth. We'll figure it out. Anyways. So
one suggestion, Dudley Brothers.
There we go. The Dudley Boys. That's what I'm talking about, Dan.
Which one's going to be like the white one? Which one's going to be the black one?
You're definitely going to be the white one, I think, just because my videos are always darker, it seems.
Okay.
So testify, Devon, I'm over here. So anyways, whenever we got that, let's go talk a little bit. First of all, Dan, I don't know why you have to talk about color. Anyways, let's go into
You don't
Halloween.
see color, I know.
Let's go into Halloween Havoc. Let's talk a little bit about this pay-per-view. Obviously, NXT is putting on a showcase that we don't normally get to see. It's something we haven't seen for a long time, Dan. We have Halloween Havoc making its return from the WCW days. Lots of good matches. Can you walk us through these stipulations, though? Because these are very odd choices and stipulations.
This is great. Okay, some of the stipulations for Halloween Havoc. Basically, what you got to do, you guys spin a wheel, and these are going to be on the wheel. And then wherever the wheel lands, you have to do that in your match. So some of the stipulations are they'll have a coal miner's glove on a pole.
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with that. Okay.
Yeah, a blindfold match, casket match, a chamber of horrors, a biker's chain match, buried alive match, a devil's playground match, a boiler room brawl, Shotzi's choice. I assume that's Shotzi Blackheart.
Right.
Weapons wild match. Guess a lot of weapons. A trick or street fight has to do with prostitutes, I guess. And a TLS. Tables, ladders, and scares. Oh my.
Tables, ladders, and scares. Trick or street. These are all very corny ass names, Dan. I'll be honest with you.
The whole thing is corny, but it's great corny.
Is corny. However, the casket match is when I want to watch. The blindfold match is when I want to participate in. However, let's talk a little bit about these stipulations here. And where do we see them falling? What is the best case scenario for the two matches we have on deck, which is Io Shirai, Candice LeRae for the NXT Women's Championship, and also Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest. So what are the best stipulations that we could possibly get for both matches, Dan Cialana?
Well, I know the last night on NXT, Johnny Gargano was concerned about the idea that he'll end up in a Buried Alive match. So I think that's kind of a giveaway that he's going to be in a Buried Alive match.
Right.
That's going to be fun to see. I don't know. Any of these matches would be kind of cool, no matter what.
Actually, before I ask that question, Dan, we're going to do a little roundtable discussion, if you don't mind, Mr. Dan Cialana.
Sure.
Do we truly believe that this is random? Nick, we'll start with you.
No, I don't believe it's. I don't believe it was ever random, to be honest.
Right.
Somebody in the back is like going to control it.
It just stops all of a sudden. Just like it spins for like 15 seconds, stops.
Pledger, are you still a believer, or is this fate, or is this a choice from the back?
Everything in wrestling is real, right?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm about it, man. It's all real. Nothing's pre-staged or scripted out or plot lines preconceived. This is all new and it's happening in the moment. I'm about it.
I love it. Thank you, James Pledger. I appreciate the love that you give. Dan, are you with James Pledger? I know usually you're a WWE mark. I assume you would be.
Okay, I know the matches are predetermined. Okay, I'm not 12 years old.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's wrestling, but I like to believe that maybe they actually the wheel spin for spin the wheel make a deal is actually real, and I want to believe in my heart.
Think they have it all planned. Any match?
Yes, I think they practice all 30 scenarios. It takes a year. I think they're prepared for every scenario, or maybe they just they record it. They know which one they make. Those poor wrestlers. What happens is when they spin it, they got to keep recording and doing the take over and over again until it gets to the damn match that they it probably takes 3 hours. Okay, spin it again and look surprised. So I don't know. It's part of the wrestling magic. I don't want to know the truth.
Right. It's like, it's like when you go see a magic show, right? You watch Chris Angel and you say, hey, I don't want to know, what the backing is. I understand. And you want the surprise to still be there. You want the excitement to still be there, even though that and we almost guarantee a Buried Alive matches with Johnny Gargano will be in. What would you like to see, though, Dan? For Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, we'll start with them first. What type of match type would lend its hand to be an awesome, unforgettable match for those two?
I think Buried Alive.
Okay, so you're rolling with what they're giving you already. You're just eating up all. Okay, so you're just taking what WWE is shoving in your mouth. You're saying delicious. Please, may I have
phrasing?
Okay, fair enough. However, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae. I know, Dan, you were a huge fan of the bra and panty matches. That's not here anymore. What are we looking at stipulations wise that maybe can fill in the blank for you?
Yeah, the bra and panties matches were not on my list here. I don't think they do those anymore. So Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, maybe they can do a boiler room brawl. Just have two women beat the crap out of each other in the back room.
Boiler room. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad. I am gonna go with a trick or street fight. I want to know what this
because
is.
They're women?
No, I just think
sexist.
I want to know what this is. I want a trick or street fight or a tables, ladders, and scares for any of them because I want to know what the difference is. Is there any difference at all? Because if it's tables, ladders, and scares, chairs should be disqualified. There should be no chairs. What are the scares?
Yeah, what are the scares?
That's what I want to know.
Someone in a sheet pops out and hits you with a chair. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I want to know. So, with that being said, obviously Halloween Havoc is now here. Other NXT news, though, we saw a surprise, an undisputed era surprise that really blew up the internet. Dan, do you want to talk a little bit about a certain celebrity that you were not a big fan of, but maybe now are a little bit more of a fan of now that we have him returning to NXT?
Yeah. It's not that I have anything against Pat McAfee. It's that Pat McAfee is so irrelevant to my life, and I'm irrelevant to his life too, to be fair. And good on him that he's getting involved in wrestling, but I don't know if Pat McAfee actually puts eyeballs on NXT TV.
Disagree. James, do you want to say something, Pledger? I know you love Pat McAfee. Do you want to say something?
Pat McAfee is awesome. I am all in. He is drawing my eyes to something I probably would have never have even caught radar.
There you go, Dan. Pat McAfee is drawing Pledger's eyes.
Okay, but to be fair, I don't watch any other sports besides wrestling, so I don't even know who these people are. I don't know how the hell I got a job at this radio station, but Whatever.
Anyways, that makes sense. However, Nick, do you care about Pat McAfee at all? Is this something that has been on your radar, or is it still one of those things where you're like, I guess whoever this guy is, just join in?
Yeah, exactly. I completely forgot about the guy. He popped up in a black hoodie. I'm kind of like, who cares? I don't.
Okay. So fair enough. However, obviously, for those who listen to podcasts, which by the way, go hit us up on our podcast, 5 stars, leave a review. Please, you can hit us up on Twitter at DFTC Podcast and find us wherever you find podcasts. However, when you talk about Pat McAfee, he has one of the biggest followings in podcasts, on YouTube, in sports. He was there. He helps out with Barstool here and there. He's basically an employee of WWE before he even started wrestling. So the dude is living the dream. He was a punter, made great money in the NFL. Now he gets to be a wrestler. The dude is just living the ultimate dream, if you ask me. Dan Cialano's not impressed. I'm a big fan. Halloween Havoc is on the horizon. Now that is happening Halloween weekend, correct, Dan?
Halloween Havoc is actually going to be on Wednesday.
Yeah, during the week. You're right.
It'll just replace the NXT regular show. So that's going to be Wednesday, Halloween Havoc. And someone you should not replace is our show. I'm Dan Cialana. He's Brandon Big Papi Medina, joined by Nick Trey from Energy 94.1, and of course, James Pledger back at the gorilla position. This is Down for the Count on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at espnsa.com/wrestling.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is Comal. Enter that keyword at espnsa.com for your chance to win $1,000. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
You hear all the time about Diamonds Direct's prices and selection and warranties. All true, and all good reasons to give us a visit. But what really sets Diamonds Direct apart is something that's hard to put into words. But you will feel it. You'll know it from the minute you walk in. It's our unique culture, our passion, our genuine and absolute desire to totally revolutionize the way you experience jewelry shopping, with a laser focus on celebrating your special moments. Every associate, every receptionist, every jewelry craftsman, every single person at Diamonds Direct shares this DNA, this overwhelming desire to exceed your expectations, to honor your trust, to revel in your moment, to make your experience truly magical. This is not a mission statement written on our wall. This is the essence of who we are. It's what drives us every day. It's why we do what we do. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. For real.
For over 70 years, Ewald Kubota has served the communities of South and Central Texas. And during these unusual times, we are still here, open for business, and ready to help working people. I'm John Ewald, and Ewald Kubota is an essential business. We're essential because we help families grow food, construction workers build roads, and ranchers work the land that is so important to our state. If you need your equipment repaired, serviced, or replaced, please come see us. We're here for you.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
It is Down for the Count, your ESPN San Antonio wrestling show. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialana. We got a full house here. I'm here with my tag team partner, Brandon Big Papi Medina. We got Nick Trey from Energy 94.1, and of course, back in the gorilla position. I don't know why I can't say that. Whatever position he's in, James Pledger. And I think we got someone very special on the phone right now, James Pledger. She is the NWA World Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa. How you doing tonight?
Good, man. Good. It's been a minute since I've been talking to y'all. I guess like last time I was in studio, and when we were normal people.
I know. I think I actually caused the pandemic. I'm sorry. So everybody, Thunder Rosa, has had a bad year, except you. I think you've had the best year ever in 2020. AEW pay-per-view, NWA champion. You're doing this Mission Pro Wrestling, these great events here, all women's. And on November 6th, you got a big event up in Buda, Texas. It's called the Tournament Out of Hell. Tell us about what you got going on there.
Well, we got all these women from different parts of the country coming into Buda, Texas. And we're gonna be on this tournament. We're gonna see who's gonna go and face each other for the championship in December 11th. So we're super excited because this is like the first time that we do this. And I'm just excited for you guys to see the new talent that we're going to bring, because some of these girls, like, nobody has really seen them, and they're so talented that you're just going to be like blown away. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think we're super excited too, Thunder Rosa. I mean, this is Brandon Medina. I know I didn't get to meet you last time. I was out, one of the very few times, and I always talk to Dan about it. However, we'll see each other soon once everything kind of goes back to normal, I'm sure. But with that being said, you talked about these women who are absolutely talented, and we're seeing that more and more in wrestling. And speaking of that, you yourself obviously are a very, very talented wrestler, and being that you just ranked in the number 14th spot on PWI, is that something that you take into consideration? Is that something that you think about, or is that just kind of another award that goes on the back burner?
Listen, man, I don't need no ranking to tell me how good or like my worth. I know my worth. I know I'm like a great talent. I know I'm a great athlete. I know that I'm hungry. And, just to show 2020 was not a year that, you can be like, yeah, bro, like I did all this stuff. Like, nothing is going to stop me for people to realize that this Mexican-American girl who has a dream to become somebody will become somebody with or without championship. Just watch. This is the year that is just like, it's moving me, and it's making me like realize the importance of all the work that I've done for the last 6 years. And that I'm representing not only, my heritage, Mexican-American, but also representing Texas. And one thing that a lot of people know about Texans is that we work hard. And there's nobody else in this world, in this business that works harder than I do.
Now, Thunder Rosa, the last time we talked to you, it was right before you were about to go to that AEW pay-per-view. And I asked you about backstage, what was going on, and you called me a chismoso and said I was doing gossip. But I want to ask you about this match you had with Akira Shida, because there was one point in the match where you kicked out of the Falcon Arrow after the 1 count, and the look on your face after that 1 count, you looked like you got away with murder. Was there any kind of heat for doing that, or is that just wrestling?
It was wrestling, brother. Storytelling, baby. Storytelling, baby.
Well, tell us a story about, you got Mission Pro Wrestling. We actually talked to Alex Gracia a couple weeks ago, and Alex Gracia was actually going to be at your Mission Pro show. So, like, what is special about Alex and all these other people you got at Mission Pro Wrestling?
I known Alex for a minute now. I actually met her before she became a wrestler. She was training to be a wrestler, and I noticed that she was very talented and that she was very athletic. And I was like, hey, girl, you got to push yourself. I know you're going to go far. And a lot of times, when girls are pretty and stuff, like they get kind of like stereotyped to just be pretty, and they can't really work. But I knew that she had the drive. She just had the drive that I had. Like, I saw it in her eyes, and I was just like, don't let anybody stop you. So ever since I met her, I always be like, my door is open for you, and anything you need, I'm here for you. Like, I want her to feel supported, and she's done so much on her own just to put her name out there. And she works really hard, and I'm really proud of her. I know she has a bright future, and she works hard. Like, I just saw her yesterday. We were training at the Dog Pound with Jazz and Rodney Mack, and I'm like the godmother. She's nice when she wants to be nice, but I'm also very, very. I have very high expectations for her. So, I don't let her slack at all.
Yeah, and speaking of high expectations, obviously, you brought your A game to AEW, where we all got to see you face Hikaru Shida. What are kind of the plans for 2021 for you? Is there any plans with, future AEW plans, NWA plans? What are the plans for you going into 2021?
I'm just going to keep it straight. The plan is to take over Texas and to take over the world. And I'm not talking about, with AEW or NWA. I'm talking about with Mission Pro Wrestling, man. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to announce something really cool that has never been done before. And we're just going to make history just like we're doing with Mission Pro Wrestling by having the first ever run show by females. We're going to make a statement in the wrestling business. And this is just the beginning, man. I'm so excited when I'm telling you this with full of passion and full of everything. And on top of that, I'm also, I'm going to make the official announcement because I haven't made it. I'm actually getting ready for a fight, an MMA fight. So I will be training my ass off in December, January, and February because the plan is to fight in February, late February, March.
Now, anyone who follows you, Thunder Rosa, on social media sees you're always working, always fighting, always training. How do you stay motivated during all this stuff going on? How do you not let it get you down? Because a lot of people, I think, are feeling down, feeling despair. How do you keep going during all this time?
I just remember it's my future, man. Like I can't allow circumstances that I'm outside of my control to derail me from what I'm doing and from like the goals that I had set for myself and for my family. I mean, as we saw wrestling, the wrestling business change, music business change, and everything. We have to adapt and learn how to adapt to that. So it is very important that I stay focused and that I keep all those around me focused too, because we have to uplift each other. And that's like I said, when we revamped Mission Pro Wrestling, that was one thing that I was like very, very strong about. That all the girls, like seeing them, like they were struggling. We're all struggling with money and financially. So just give them an opportunity to work, and however I can, just for us to feel like we're valued and we have something going on. So, yes, dude, like I'm not going to lie. There's days that I'm like, why am I even doing this for? When I go and training MMA, I'm like, dude, I suck at this. Like, why do I keep doing it? But I remember at the end of the day, I don't want to have regret of things that I didn't do, that I didn't push myself enough, or that or I see other people doing it and I'm like, man, I could have done that too. So I don't want to do that. I started late on the business, but I'm telling you, I have so much determination and so much passion and so much fire. And 2020 just like ignited it even more. I don't want anybody to tell me I can't. Nobody but myself. The only one who's going to stop me is myself. Nobody else. So not even COVID, man.
Not even COVID. Screw COVID. All right. We only got a couple more minutes left with the NWA World Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa. And speaking of championships, unfortunately, because of all the COVID stuff, you had to relinquish your Japanese Princess Championship. So sorry about that. If I remember correctly, that was a nice smelling belt too. I think we got to sniff that belt. So any plans on going back to Japan? You have to wait till next year? Or how's that going to work for your Japanese title?
Well, I'm just waiting for some of the situation with COVID to open up, like the doors for us to like be safe to follow the country. And I am a number one contender to whoever wins that championship. Whoever wins the championship, she's gonna get in butt with. I'm telling you, I'm coming with everything. If I was aggressive before, probably make me more aggressive.
Watch out. She's the NWA Women's World Champion. She's about to beat the crap out of someone in February 2021 MMA. Check that out. Thunder Rosa, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Down for the Count.
Thank you, guys. I love you guys. I love San Antonio. I love Texas.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thunder
Did
Rosa.
I mark out?
Wow, what a...
You called me a stan.
Yeah,
I didn't mark out that much. I didn't see
not that much, but I know.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I think the butterflies usually are flying, and we can see you put filters on yourself whenever you're talking.
I did feel
to her.
sad
However,
that she
this
didn't
one,
remember the last time I talked to her.
Right, I do
forgot.
think
I'm forgettable.
It seems like this is a two-way street, right? But you are really driving down, both lanes sometimes.
Sometimes in a relationship, you got to put more effort.
You got to put more effort. Hey, listen, I understand.
I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. Like, she's cool. Like, she's very generous with podcasters, radio shows. She goes on so many people's radio shows. Thunder Rosa is a good person. She takes time for fans, takes time for shows, even obscure shows no one's ever heard of. She does it. So she's a good person. I'm glad that she's one of our friends.
Yeah, all jokes aside, she's an absolute class act. She's obviously going to be a huge, huge addition to any show that continues to add her. We saw AEW. That was one of the best segments, one of the best matches we've seen on AEW. She is a contender anywhere she goes. I think that's super exciting, all the stuff she has planned for 2021. We want to see more females in wrestling dominate and become pop culture icons and also household names. So that's always great to see. Now, with that being said, Dan, we don't have much time. We have about a minute. But with Hell in a Cell coming this weekend, Dan, real quick, 15, 20 seconds, most memorable Hell in a Cell match or moment. What was it, Dan? That's not Mankind Undertaker.
Oh, I think Sasha Banks almost not being able to do her match, being carried away on a stretcher, but then ripping off her neck brace and fighting Charlotte Flair anyway. That's my favorite besides Mick Foley. And I'm so excited that I spit.
And what about you, Nick, real quick?
Well, actually, man, I don't know if I can, remember any great ones besides the ones with Undertaker. Specifically one with Shawn Michaels in '97. That's when Kane premiered, and I believe chokeslammed the Undertaker, and he debuted.
Wow, I forgot about that one. That was a classic. I agree. I also think the one that I love is the Shawn Michaels referee one where it was Taker Triple H. That was another really good one at WrestleMania. There's been amazing ones. I was there when Shane McMahon got thrown off, or when he jumped off, wasn't thrown off at WrestleMania. So lots of classic matches. Hell in a Cell is this weekend. This is Down for the Count. Go hit us up at DFTC Podcast. I'm Brandon Medina. That is Dangerous Dan. See you, Lana. And that's the bottom line.
On Twitter at DFTC Podcast.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones,